Think of all the changes that have occurred over the past 40 years. Cell phones and computers, cars and gas prices, just to name a few. Well, dentist Steve Marsh has seen a variety of changes in dentistry since he graduated dental school 40 years ago, and he's here to celebrate 40 years of smiles. So,
yeah, 40 years actually today.
All right, congratulations or happy anniversary.
Thank you, Lauren.
So, I'm glad you're here on the show. So things have changed, huh?
Yeah, and you know, one of the biggest changes we've seen have been materials. Techniques are a whole nother matter with digital things that you've mentioned, like cell phones. But we used to use a lot of silver fillings, and silver worked very well, but again, silver fillings were half mercury and half some silver and metal filings. And this is a picture we actually have in one of our treatment rooms. There is a difference and you have a choice. One of the things that happen, Lori, over time is the silver tends to break down. The other thing that happens is for the dentist to get the silver to stay, because it just really sat in the hole, we had to cut away too much tooth structure. And so we often see people in our age group who had silver fillings, they lasted for a long time, they bite down, they start to wedge the teeth, and you actually see some fracturing. And that's a depiction of old age dentistry and new age dentistry.
Yeah, I've had all my silver fillings replaced, so. And silver's a thing of the past?
Well, yeah, in fact, so here's a picture of before and after of somebody I took care of. You mentioned you had yours removed. This was somebody who came to me. He was a banker. He was in his 40s. He had those old silver fillings for many years, and he had worn down his lower front teeth. So in the back, we replaced the fillings. We actually used a composite material. It's a type of very hard plastic. It's very strong. The teeth that had worn down, including the teeth in the front, we actually used porcelain veneers. And that is a huge change, too, that we'll get into, in that we don't use metal in crowns or veneers, so we can get a very natural look and one that's very strong as well.
Okay. I remember silver teeth. I also remember gold crowns.
Yeah, and gold crowns and gold inlays. And I have to tell you, my father, who was a dentist, you've heard me talk about him before, he did marvelous gold work, absolutely stunning. And I still see my sisters and my brother, though they don't live in town, when they come in, I look at this work and I marvel at it. And these are teeth that they had done. This is actually my sister Joanne's in the bicuspid area, which is not in the front exactly. And those are called gold inlays. So rather than use silver, he actually used gold that was cast metal. It went in, it fit beautifully, and they still work well. They still work well in lower second molars. It's very conservative, but people today don't want gold in their teeth. But I can tell you it's still a wonderful solution.
Okay, well, metal is kind of a thing of the past, so you're going to talk about what we're using today for most restorations.
Right. So for a simple filling, we'll use composites. Composite work very well. They're conservative. They look good. They bond to the tooth. They strengthen the tooth. When it comes to crowns, we use all porcelain. And there are a number of porcelains. One's called Emax, one's a zirconium, which is 4 times stronger than any porcelain we ever used. And if you look at this before and after, it's a wonderful picture of what used to be in dentistry. Those 2 front crowns were porcelain with metal underneath. They look very opaque. Obviously, the size wasn't exactly the way he wanted them. But he had them for 20 years. So he came to me. His wife said, it's time for you to have a smile that I can appreciate across the table. We did some gum contouring. We took off those old porcelain metal crowns. Very little decay underneath it, cleaned it out, and then put porcelain crowns across the front. We did some gum contouring, Lori. You've heard about it from me before, where we raised the tissue because proportions were way off. That's why you saw that smile so dominated by those crowns. So today you can do it in all composite, you can use porcelains, all very, very strong restorations.
All right. Well, sounds like things have changed for the better.
Yeah, they really have. And hard to believe 40 years have passed, and I've enjoyed being on this show for many years as well.
All right, and we've enjoyed having you on.
Thanks, Lori.
We've come a long way, baby, in 40 years, and we've learned that silver and gold may be great for jewelry, but your smile looks best accessorized with natural color treatments, which are now strong and safe. Congratulations again to Steve, and our thanks for celebrating his 40-year dental anniversary with us here today.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com.